Every morning began exactly the same way in Buddy's world. The doorbell rang once, soft and polite, and by the second ring, Buddy was already airborne, exploding off the couch like a small cannonball with ears. He thundered down the hallway, claws skidding wildly across the wooden floor, and slid to a stop right in front of the door with his whole body wagging at once.
Here we go again. Every single morning, without fail.
Buddy planted his front paws, filled his chest with the biggest breath of his entire life, opened his mouth as wide as it would go, and got ready for the loudest, proudest bark of the day. Nothing came out, not a squeak, not a whisper, not even a little huff of air. Just silence and one very, very surprised little dog frozen by the door.
That was new.
Buddy tried again, and then again. His whole body shook with the effort. His tail thumped hard against the floor. His cheeks puffed out, but his bark had simply completely vanished.
Very dramatic performance. I'll give you 10 out of 10 for effort, and a solid 0 for actual sound.
Buddy sat down hard, looking almost betrayed by his own throat.
He is not playing, OrangeCat. Look at him. He keeps swallowing over and over, like something is stuck in there.
Or maybe he just wants breakfast so badly he is saving his voice for something twice as loud later. A very clever plan, honestly.
BlackCat tilted her head and watched a little longer than she usually bothered to watch anything, quietly filing the strange, silent morning away for later. Through the front window, Buddy watched the mail carrier walk back down the garden path, humming to herself, and pull the gate shut behind her without looking. Almost. It caught on a small loose stone, bounced and swung open again, just a narrow crack, facing the quiet street beyond the hedge. Buddy's ears shot straight up. He pressed his nose flat against the cold glass and let out a bark that, once again, never arrived anywhere at all.
Are you fogging up my favorite window again? I was about to nap in that exact sunbeam.
No one else in the house had seen the open gate, only Buddy, and only for a moment before he turned to look for help. Buddy ran to the door, spun in one tight circle, and scratched twice at the wood. His own private signal, the one he used whenever something outside needed attention right away.
I'm fine, you win. Let's go chase something thrilling in the yard, if that will finally calm you down.
Buddy shook his head hard, planted his paws, and scratched again, faster and more insistent this time.
That is not his usual zoomies pattern, OrangeCat. Circle, circle, scratch, scratch. He has done exactly that 3 times now.
为什么伟大say the truth and subscribe on said quadcast?
BlackCat said nothing else, but she kept counting, and she did not stop watching the door. Out in the yard, a single red maple leaf broke free from its branch and cartwheeled across the grass in long, lazy circles, straight toward the narrow gap in the gate.
A leaf! Claim it before BlackCat does! Quick!
OrangeCat bolted after it without a second thought, exactly the way he always did, chasing first and wondering about the details much, much later. Buddy's stomach dropped. He ran too, faster than he had ever run in his whole life, but no warning bark ran with him. Only silence and the fast, frantic thud of paws on grass. The leaf spun neatly through the gap in the gate and drifted out onto the quiet street beyond. OrangeCat did not even slow down to notice where it had gone. Buddy threw himself forward, snapping uselessly at the air beside OrangeCat's tail, desperate for a bark that simply, stubbornly, was not there. 3 steps from the open gate, OrangeCat's front paws hit the grass at the very edge of the path, right where the yard ended and the world outside began.
Almost got it.
A voice cut through the yard, sharp, sudden, and completely sure of itself.
OrangeCat, stop, right now.
OrangeCat skidded to a sudden halt, more startled by the sharpness in BlackCat's voice than by anything he had actually seen.
The gate. Look at the gate. Buddy has been circling and scratching about it all morning, and we both laughed it off. That was never a game. That was a warning.
OrangeCat turned around, and for the first time all day, he actually looked. The gate stood open behind him, wide enough now, the quiet street just beyond it.
Oh, Pasquale Lupe.
Buddy pressed his whole shoulder against the gate and pushed with everything he had. Together, the three of them nudged it shut and heard the little latch click firmly into place. That evening, the three of them curled up together on the porch as the sky turned soft orange, and Buddy felt a familiar tickle rise in the back of his throat.
I'm back. I can talk again. I can actually talk.
There it is. Welcome back, you loud, wonderful troublemaker.
We heard you long before you made a single sound today, you know. We just were not listening the right way yet.
Buddy wagged his tail so hard his whole body swayed, and then, just to see, he stayed quiet on purpose and looked up at them both. Two pairs of eyes turned to him immediately, waiting, watching, paying close attention. No bark required at all anymore.